Alright, so I decided to make this video, and this is a special one that's not going to be part of my trading series, but hopefully this will get traction because it's pretty important to me, and it's time to finally speak out to those trolls and people that are calling me a scammer and all that kind of stuff. There's not too many of them yet, but I know that once my channel grows, it will continue to increase, and so I'm making this video to basically copy and paste to these individuals to hope in hopes that it will help explain to people who I am, what kind of trader I am, and what I care about in life and in trading in general. So I have 15 points that I'm going to be covering in this video. So hopefully you're not needing to watch it for like an hour. I'm hoping to keep it around 20 minutes long. I'm going to be covering 15 points, starting from the very beginning of my trading back in 2005. So a long time ago, till now, telling you about the profits that I've made, the losses, the mistakes that I've done over the years. I'm also going to show you trading accounts that I've done, and also talk about trading accounts that I've deleted because of either embarrassment or because I didn't want them to show, or strategies that I wasn't proud about as well. So I'm going to be talking about these things in hopes that I can continue the transparency of this channel and install confidence in people that are watching me and following me, so I can continue to bring good content in the future. So let's get started. Alright, so I blew up my video so you could see my face a little bit better, especially in the beginning of this video because I'm going to be covering some topics that you don't need to see the charts for. So the first out of the 15 questions that I'm going to be covering, or topics I'm going to be covering in this video, is when I started trading. I started trading in 2005, so that's 15 years ago, and I was really young. I was, I think, 18 or something like that. And I was making quite a bit of money as a musician at the time. I was looking for a place to invest or put my money as a hobby or just put aside, trying to be wise with it. That didn't work out because as I got started in Forex trading, I started doing some signal services. I did one signal service on demo account and grew that demo account by 50% in a week. And I was thinking, whoa, this has huge potential, and was kind of hooked from that point. I then began to invest $1,000 on those same signal services, thinking that I could grow some or make a good profit from them, and realized that that was a mistake. And those same signals that I was using before that profited on the demo account ended up losing $500, so 50% of the account in the first week. And I realized that this was pretty scary. I tried to make back those losses with other signals, and that didn't work out. So I realized that this is maybe a little bit harder than I thought because I didn't even really know how to put if the signals were telling me a buy order or a sell order or even what margin was or a pip was. I was just going for it and very naive approach, but I ended up taking a break from it after about 6 months in 2005 because I thought it was kind of dangerous, and it was. It wasn't until I got an email blast from some kind of website that I signed up for when I initially was looking into trading, and it got me reinterested. And so I checked it out and looked at it, and that was the beginning of my entire road into Forex trading. And so I started doing more demo trading, some more live trading, and I was still making really good money as a musician. So I had some funds to kind of try things out. And it didn't really work out. I lost an additional $3,000 back in, I think it was 2007. Was about that. I got married in 2019, and this comes to my second point, or my second topic. 2009 was when I had the big loss of $30,000. So that was 30,000 total. So I lost the $1,000 in 2005. I lost 3,000 in 2017, and then I lost about another 22 22 or 21 in 2009. And this is my first year, or after my first year of being married. And I had such a massive loss. I just about killed my marriage because of it. Um, and lost my nice sports car. I had a Porsche 911 at the time. Because of my losses, I had to basically fork up my Porsche to sustain the losses that I had. Which was really sad, and my bank account was really low at that point. I think I was down to like 5,000 on a joint account, or maybe even less than that. I think it was like 3,000 at the time because of the losses that I sustained. So I really had to live very carefully. I had to move into my mother-in-law's basement for a couple of years after that happened. It was a pretty rough experience. So topic 3. This was what happened after the losses. So after the 30,000, well, that is, I kind of just told you a little bit about it. I moved into my mother-in-law's basement with my wife, and we stayed there for a couple of years to recoup and save up money because of those substantial losses. Um, and I didn't do much trading. I did only demo trading after that. I think for about let's see, 2000 for a year or two, I believe, and looked into algorithmic trading in about 2010. That's when I started looking into EAs and how those functioned. And it wasn't until about 2012 or 13 where I started hiring a coder to create my own ideas into algorithms. So I started that quite a few many years ago, and eventually. That turned into the RMI Expert Advisor, which a lot of you know of. I gave this algorithm out to about 20,000 people over the last few years for free. Because it was very early, rough drafts of this algorithm, and was looking to improve it, and was also looking to give back to the community Forex traders. So I'm going to move my camera back so you can start seeing the charts, because we're going to start moving into the charts soon. Um, and in 2013, that's when I created the RMI EA and a bunch of other algorithms as well. None of them were really working very well, but the RMI showed some really good potential on the euro pound in a very low moving, kind of ranging type of pair that doesn't have a lot of volatility most of the time. And I found out that the strategy worked really well on that, and so I started looking for correlated pairs that happened to kind of go along with the euro pound, and found the pound Canadian dollar, the New Zealand Canadian dollar, and the Aussie Canadian dollar as well. And so I continued to improve and work with this algorithm until about 2014, 2013 or 2014 is when I think I became a member of Forex Signals and forexsignals.com. So this is my fifth topic, or fifth point that I wanted to cover of the 15. This was Forex Signals, and I think it was in 2013 or 14. So my algorithmic trading was pretty new at the time, and somebody there at forexsignals.com, when they were having traders trade their accounts for them, and it was basically like a mini hedge fund or private fund. And so they had traders that were trading for them there. And one of the traders basically blew like almost $100,000 account, and there was only $10,000 left in it. So I was like, you know what? I think I can take that on, and I bet I could. Positive thinking. I thought I could make some good profit on that account, on that 10,000 or 15,000 that was left over, thinking that I could redeem the mistakes that this other person made, and I ended up losing that account pretty fast, actually. I think it was after I made, like, I think 10% on it, and then I ended up blowing it. I was high risking an algorithm that I was using, or maybe even manual trading. I don't even remember. But it was kind of a disaster. It gave me a really poor reputation right off the start at forexsignals.com, and that never really repaired, unfortunately. So after forexsignals.com, then I came across a trader at a broker called Belfor FX, and this is my sixth topic that I'm going to be covering. Now, Belfor FX is an overseas broker. They weren't regulated. They had high leverage. A lot of the brokers like Traders Way, Liquid FX, Equal FX. So a very similar kind of vibe to that, but even smaller. These guys were not the best out there. And so I met a trader or my fund manager at this broker, Belfor FX. I made friends with him, and he was a pretty nice guy. And I trusted him to an extent, and he also kind of trusted me as well. And said, "Hey, I've got this trader that is looking for some help. He's pretty new, and he has deep pockets." I'm like, "Ooh, okay." All right, let's do this. And so I'm like, I've got my algorithm. I feel like I've modified it and worked it. And this was in 2015. This was after my losses at Forex Signals. And so I thought I was ready for something like this. So I got pretty excited. And I think I have some videos back in 2015, 16, or even 17, kind of talking about this a little bit. You can go back into my history. I have videos going all the way back to about the early 2017 on my YouTube channel. So this trader had ridiculous deep pockets. The fund manager at Belfor FX was telling me, yeah, he was throwing away like $100,000 every single month or something. It was pretty ridiculous because he was just high risk trading and gambling and losing. And so he introduced us. He introduced me to this guy and to his company. I got involved and ended up trading upwards of $450,000 for this company. So I'm going to try to find where it is. I'm going to show you all these other accounts in a second. But here it is. That's the first one, or the second one. So this is the account at Belfor FX, and I say it went scam. So I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. So this account was last updated in 2015. So this was still pretty early on in my professional trading career, and it was kind of the beginning of my professional trading career, trading for this company out in Houston. So he says that it was a real account, and the highest it was $466,000. So it was really quite a substantial account for me, and I made almost $48,000 on this account. So I originally started with 10,000, then they kept increasing it to 100, to 200, 300, and then eventually got up to 500 or close to 500, where it stayed. Now I even made some private videos, and I can show this to those that really want to see. If I give them a link, I can show them the videos that I made about this scam broker, that I was sending to my clients, saying, "Hey, they're manipulating price. Things are looking weird. My orders are not executing correctly. I was still making a profit, as you can see, but the orders weren't executing properly, and I was seeing price manipulation happening. So I was like, something's going on here. I think that they're trying to make us lose, and I made videos of this. If you want to see them, let me know. I can show you. But if you're just in case you're wondering if this is a real story that I'm telling, all right. You can also check Belfor FX at forexpeacearmy.com. They will show that this broker went scam eventually. So during the course of trading this account for these guys at in Houston. I was trading them remotely. Also met them in person in DC, and it was pretty cool. I felt like a big shot. I was making a lot of money. I was making salary. I was making commission. I was making bonuses, and I did this for 2 years. I ended up pulling in about what did I write down? It was about 45,000 in salary over the course of those 2 years, salary and commission and trading profits. So already just in those 2 years, and I think I made most of those in just 1 year, most of that profit. So I already recovered the 30,000 that I lost in 2009, that almost broke my marriage. In 2015, trading this account that you see here at Belfor FX. Now, unfortunately, they did end up going scam. I was able to withdraw my funds, my personal funds from them, which are right here, I think. Yep, Belfor FX, where I had a $12,901 account with $5,000 profit, 93% gain, pretty high percentage drawdown, but I was able to withdraw all those funds, and as you can see, somehow there was 400 left over. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I was able to withdraw all the funds there, as you can see. So I got my funds out, but my poor client here at Belfor FX, The guys from Houston were not able to get that. I think they were able to get like 100,000 out, and then the rest of it, the broker ended up going scam and running away from that. But if you don't believe me, please just check reviews of Belfour FX scam or review, and you'll find all the information I'm talking about right here. The cool thing about this account is that I actually ran on a 6.4% drawdown. So I was using a combination of manual trading and scalping, which is my old TMA scalping strategy. And you can see that the results were really quite good. I was trading at specific times of the day. It was really important for me to have really low drawdown on a high account balance like this. Okay, so moving on to the next account. This was one of my personal accounts. This was later. This was in 2016. This was a $17,000 account. As you can see, it was withdrawn. So really good profit on that. Forex Broker Inc. So I don't think this broker exists anymore either. All right, so we covered topic 6, which is trading for the guys in Houston. And in 2000, and then I also traded for a partner of mine, and I traded for him from 2015 all the way up until 2019, actually, off and on. The most I think I traded for him was around 200 or so thousand, and I was going to show you some of the old videos that I posted back a long time ago regarding the account sizes that I was trading. And I'm just going to briefly show you some of the topics of the videos that I posted of the early videos. Just so you guys can understand that I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything, I'm not trying to tell any lies, that all of the information that I'm telling you right now is real and can be verified in the videos that I made back years ago. So you can see here, so I was trading on this video $207,000. And that was just from my own accounts and from my partner's account that I was trading at Oanda. So it was really quite substantial that when I was trading back then. And this video was released on this video was released in 2017 of September. So this is when I was trading quite a bit of funds. I was also trading for the firm in Houston as well, still at that time. So was making a pretty good profit from this partner as well. I eventually grew his account by 30%. I did end up dipping down, but I was making a really good commission up until that 30% profit. I did eventually lose about 7% of that account, or around 10% of his trading account, and told him that I was done and I didn't want to trade his account anymore. I thought it was too stressful for me to trade this individual or this partner's account, and I didn't really like it. I didn't really like managing funds for other people. It was too stressful for me. And so I told him, no, I'm not doing it anymore. And he was kind of surprised. And then I came back to him like a year later, and this was in 2019. Said, hey, I've got an algorithm that I could use for you. And that one, I think I ended up losing 5% on his account. And I ended up saying, you know what? I was wrong about this. This is not what I want to do. I lost 5% in your account. I feel like I'm getting emotional for you. This is not a good setting for me. All right. So I told him again, I hope we can leave on good terms, but this is it for me trading on your account. I think I was only trading back in 2019 about 20 or so thousand for him because he wanted to try things out and slowly to see how things were going to move around with the new funds that he was looking at. All right, so we're at 16 minutes. I don't want to take too much more time. And the next topic is okay, so what happened after 2017? During the time that I made about $45,000 profit in 2015 through 2017. I also had a personal account of about $28,000 in 2018, the beginning of 2018, and this was the huge crypto rush. This is when crypto trading was at its highest, I think, or near the end of 2017, early 2018. And I took all my funds out of my trading accounts, Forex trading accounts, and was like, oh, crypto's the new thing. I got to get involved. And I did it. I ended up biting the bullet and started investing in crypto altcoins and the cryptocurrency. and ended up losing, making a big, huge profit. I ended up making something like I think it was like $70,000 or $75,000, and then the crypto fall happened. I ended up losing 50% of that, which sucked. And so I pulled out everything at that point, and I didn't put it into forex trading. I didn't put it into crypto. I just held on to it, and because I felt like the money that I have made over the last few years was slowly depleting, and I didn't want that to happen. So I kind of sat back and protected it, and that was in 2018. And I didn't trade many live or real big accounts, personal accounts of my own or anybody else's during 2018 and 19, and also in 20. And I did a lot of demo trading. I did a lot of algorithmic trading and building. I built, I think, around 75 to 100 algorithms just from 2018 till now, so just in the last 3 years, trying to really find a strategy that was long term, that could really show good results, that could make a lot of profit. I liked my RMI strategy, the one that I built in 2013, but at the time I thought that 3 to 5% per month was just not enough for the account sizes that I wanted to trade and work with. And so I was hoping to turn something like $10,000 into 100 by finding the holy grail strategy. And so I kept building algorithms over and over and over again. I was chipping away at the 50,000 that I still had left over to pay for these types of instruments or tools. And it ended up being not a huge waste of money, but I ended up realizing after creating all these algorithms, what the possibilities of the Forex market were and trading in general. It gave me a knowledge of what's possible in the long term, what kind of profit, what kind of goals, what kind of strategies would work over the long term. And it gave me kind of a good idea of what a real trader is and what it should be. And so that's kind of where I am now. And that's why my channel has changed so much in the last 6 months to a year. And so I have, since during that emotional time of trying to build algorithms, and this only happened about a year ago, where I was thinking, okay, everybody wants high risk trading tools, and a lot of them can make some really good profit before they blow your account, right? And so I had, out of all the many algorithms I had, I thought that there's some that has some pretty good potential for high risk, high reward. And so I ended up releasing to the public algorithms called the blast bands EA. You might have remember that one. I ended up doing the TMA EAs as well, the high risk RMI Pro versions, like the version 1, version 2.6, and version 3.5. All of those were big mistakes because I couldn't sleep at night. I realized that people were losing their accounts. I didn't feel comfortable with that. And people still liked it. They still like, well, I'm going to start over with it, even though I lost. Maybe I just didn't withdraw it early enough. It's not supposed to be looked at like a casino, where you go to a casino and you gamble until you make a profit, and then you just have to walk away. That's such a hard thing to do for most people, that eventually people will just stay there until they lose all their money. And so that mentality is just not strong enough for me or for anybody else. And so that's why I ended up taking and moving away from those types of trading strategies and replacing them with more longer term strategies. So here we are. I'm now on topic 11. So this is maybe going to be a little bit longer of a video. We're already at 22 minutes, so hopefully you guys can maybe watch this in parts. All right, so on topic 11, this is Myfxbook. So this is the problem with the tracked accounts that I have been experiencing. And I didn't pull up the emails, which is annoying, because I was going to actually do that, but I don't want to be rummaging through my email account right now, where everybody can see everything that I receive. But if you do want emails from Myfxbook in regards to the drawdown results that are being showing wrong on my accounts. For example, like 65% drawdown is not correct. I've sent emails to Myfxbook to correct this. I even posted the response to one of these emails to a comment that somebody posted on YouTube. But trust me, the results, the drawdown results, are not displaying correctly. It's the profit results always are, but for some reason the drawdown it fluctuates a lot. And I can confirm this on this account. So if I show you this one right here, so this is the RMI Pro, which is the drawdown, which I want to briefly talk about. It's at 4.33% profit. And this one is just showing it as a 78% drawdown, which is pretty ridiculous because that's basically almost a margin call. And you can see here, this is the account. I'm going to, so you can actually see it better. Uh, okay, so I removed the grid. You can see right here that it shows that the max drawdown, where's my pen, was 38.58% on this account. It might go higher. I don't know at this point. But this is the RMI Pro, and it shows that this account was a maximum. The EA tracks this, the actual RMI EA Pro, and the displayed settings, or like the performance shows right here. It shows the how much profit has been made, and you can see 1,043.27, which is exactly right here, 1,043.27. You can also see all the other information, daily stats, account all profit, and so on and so forth. But this, I wanted to confirm this with everybody, just to show you that Myfxbook isn't always correct with how they display the results, which is frustrating to me because it will come and go, and I haven't asked them yet to fix the problem here. But I will. It's not displaying incorrect on any of my other accounts, but those ones right now. And this even includes my Ranger EA accounts, which are displaying correctly. So the one right here, Ranger EA version 2, and also Ranger EA version 2 at Oanda. And also the live account at EagleFX. These are all displaying correctly. So I don't know why the RMI Pro is messed up at Myfxbook, but it is frustrating, and I hope that you can believe me here when I show you, because of the accounts that I just showed you right here, just to verify that the drawdown is not being displayed correctly. All right, so a brief let's see. So the RMI Pro, so the drawdown that we're experiencing, that has a lot to do with the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar and euro have been really climbing, been pushed a lot by the banks and the institutions against the retail traders. Now, if you guys know anything about how trading works, the banks and institutions are the ones that really drive the price, and the traders like me and you are trying to fight the banks. We're always going to lose because we just don't have the funds that they do. But things have really been pushing up in a big way over the last couple of months, and it's been definitely a lot of manipulation because price isn't really showing, hasn't really showed a lot of reaction towards support and resistance levels, especially in this move. So not even really a budge. So it's being ignored, and typically when that happens, when there's not much movement around these support and resistance levels of much profit taking, it usually is an indication that there's manipulation going on from the big banks. All right, so recently there was a move up, and I called a retracement right in this area that would happen, or a pullback that would happen on the Aussie dollar. It didn't happen. It actually kind of fell back down a little bit, and then it continued back up. But in the Telegram group, which everybody can be a part of, it's in the description below. There's, I think, over 137 members in there right now. You can join this group and check it out. We talk about trading strategies and a lot of topics regarding or revolving around bestfreeforexea.com. So I posted in the group because people were wondering, when do you think the Aussie dollar is going to fall? When it's going to happen? I said when a price was way back down here earlier in the month, this month, I said I think it's likely that price will break past 0.7, which is the round number, right in about there, and it will shoot past there to about 0.73 to 0.75, and likely find some resistance and then fall back down. And we got this candle right here. This was on the 1 hour chart. I announced it to the group. Hey, we got a nice close on the 1 hour. I think this is the candle that's going to make the Aussie dollar fall. It did. And it's currently a pullback. It's not enough of a pullback to get us out of the large drawdown that's happening on the uh, uh, RMI Pro version 4, not yet at least, but it could be enough to really start a selling process on the Aussie dollar. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm not going to make any predictions at this point because I do think that it's possible that it could shoot back up and maybe even break the 7 level and then continue further. I don't know. Or maybe a more likely scenario is it reversing at this point and coming back down. But as far as I understand, if I look at my stats here on the Aussie dollar regarding the RMI Pro EA version 4, then I look at the stats and I see, okay, these are results all the way back in 2010. This is a backtest result of the EA itself. And you can see the higher drawdown moments that happened. And these were roughly about 35% on this one and about 40% on this one, and in smooth sailing ever since. And that was those drawdowns happened way back in 2014. So this is the biggest drawdown, as you can see here, that we've had since that time. So you're probably wondering, oh, well, this is just a backtest. That doesn't mean anything, because backtest doesn't guarantee future profit, right? If it's a profitable backtest, I agree with that. I think that backtests can only be used so much, and so much credibility can come of them. But the idea here is that the strategy has always come out of the drawdown that it's hit over the last 10 years, making me think that there should be a continued fall that would happen on the Aussie dollar because it's happened over the last 10 years, and the EA has been able to adapt and move with price over those years without having a huge loss. Now, 42% drawdown, that's a lot. That was the max that it had back in 2014. Okay, so 42% drawdown is high, and it's not really acceptable. So those that purchased this software from me over the last couple of months did receive pretty much all of my expert advisors at this point. I sent them the new updates to the Ranger EA and the Pinpoint EA that was also released in hopes that it would compensate or help with the potential drawdown that they're experiencing with this expert advisor. No losses taken yet, but realizing that 42% drawdown is not really acceptable, and I'm hoping that sending these other algorithms that have had strong performance as well in the past and currently, that would help ease the pain that we're experiencing with this expert advisor. Okay, so I've released 3 expert advisors in the last few months, I think 3 to 4 months. And the idea here is that 3 expert advisors that, I can't have a 100% strike rate. That one of these strategies, the Pinpoint EA, the RMI EA Pro, the Ranger EA, one of them is at least one of them is gonna probably fail at some point. That's just how trading works, is that the market goes through phases, and it really puts a lot of pressure and stress on our strategies and tries to really break them because it's always changing. And so the idea here is if we have an account balance of, say, $3,000, then I'm going to diversify the $3,000 into 3 different accounts. One's going to go into the RMI Pro, one is going to go into the Ranger EA, one is going to go into the Pinpoint EA, and I'm going to expand that portfolio so I'm not putting so much exposure on one type of algorithm. Because, we can't depend on everything is going to profit for until the end of time. And so it's important to not put all your eggs into one basket. I do my best to try to build the best algorithms possible based on many, many years of history. But since the markets are always changing, it's impossible to constantly stay ahead of the changing market, and I'm always going to be one step behind. Does that mean all of my algorithms are going to fail? No. But it does mean that there are some possibilities that losses can happen. It's just the nature of trading in general. So I'm going to head over to Now, I know this video is long, so hopefully people will watch some of it. But I'm going to go over into the Ranger EA. So this is Ranger EA, the pound Canadian dollar, and I'm going to run a test here with you on camera, or with you guys watching. So I'm going to make sure that we're on the proper dates. Okay, so we're going to start this test. All right, so this test is going to show you a back test from 2010 to current date, 2020. Now, it's just a back test, all right? So back tests are, like I was saying before, there's only so much credibility that can come from them. But they show a lot of potential. If something worked in the past, then it has pretty good potential to work in the future. That's the idea here. All right, so with that mentality being said, that's how I was able to gain such a good track record over the last 9 months with the Ranger EA version 2. I started the 9-month tracking account at Oanda back in October 2019. And this is when I actually took a break from YouTube. I took a break from YouTube for 5 months so I could build stats because I knew I was lacking stats from the tools that I was using. I was using too many tools in the same accounts, causing everything to be messy. And so I wanted individual trading accounts that were divvied up towards specific strategies. And that's what I did starting in 2019. All right, so this is the Ranger EA. And people don't realize how difficult it is to build a strategy that trades like this. Some people will say like, oh, well, you can just over optimize your strategy and make it fit to the market up till this current date. That is such bullcrap, and it's really difficult to do that. You can do it with a lot of work, but it's so tricky to make your algorithm able to adapt to so many years of market data. I find it really tricky to do, and I don't think that many people can do it. And people underestimate the difficulty and the challenge that's involved in making a strategy that's this consistent over this many years. And so with that being said, that's what made me start these live accounts to begin with, or forward trading accounts, because they're actually demo accounts. I'm not going to, tell you that they're live accounts, but it doesn't matter if they're demo accounts or live accounts or not, because stats are stats. And even to have let's see, so we're in January, February, March, April, May, June. So that's 6 months. Even to have 6 months of trading stats on this account with profit every single month is a huge, huge feat to accomplish that not many traders out there can actually do, especially with a 10% drawdown. The drawdown is displaying correctly here. It really is. For some reason, I don't understand. I'm going to keep pressing on this, and I know that people are going to keep pushing my buttons when it comes to why is some of your Myfxbook accounts displaying the right drawdown and some others aren't. I don't know. It's a website that I have no control over, so I apologize for that. All right, so 6 months of stats is really difficult to accomplish. And people don't realize how difficult that is. And so that's all based on my back history run with this expert advisor over the last many years, anticipating that if it worked in the past, that it has a good chance of working in the future. And here we go, it has. So I've been told by bank traders and by some friends that are at prop firms that if you have 6 to 12 months of really good, consistent trading stats, that could get you a job at a prop firm somewhere in the US or in the world. All right, and I'm not talking about FTMO or the Fivers. I'm not talking about these casino-based proprietary firms, which they are. Come on. Don't fight me on this. These prop firms are, yes, they are legitimate and they do pay out to traders that are actually able to do them. But there's such a few percentage of traders that are able to stay within these rule sets that they give that it becomes more of a casino tactic than anything else, because more traders are losing using their service than are actually winning. So the prop firms that I'm talking about, or the trading groups or the private funds or the hedge funds that I'm talking about, are all these proprietary firms right here that are listed. And there's more of them. This is just a small list. A lot of them are located in Chicago, in New Jersey, New York, London, All these places allow traders like you and me to come on board, and if you're able to prove that you have good stats, and it doesn't matter if it's a live account or a demo account. All they want to see is consistent stats, and also you're going to need to be a verified licensed trader. And that costs money. That actually costs around $3,000 to $5,000 to do that. I was actually approached by a bank back in 2018. Spoke to a head member at a bank. I'm not going to say the name or his name at all as well. And he was willing to pay for my license to become a proprietary and a fund manager. So he was going to pay me, I think it was $3,000 to become a licensed trader, so I could trade multi-million dollar accounts. And this is when I was going through the phase with my partner about wanting to trade his account, and it was too much stress for me. I just didn't really like the idea of this environment of trading for somebody else. So what I did was I turned him down. I even got to the point of sending me a check, and he sent me the check, and it was in his name, and I looked at it and just thought, I just don't think I want to do this, and ended up tearing up the check, letting him know, and that was that. Um, so I don't know if I turned down an opportunity that I would have grown to like, but it's not something that I'm too interested in, and I had a huge opportunity to do it and turned it down. So where does that leave me now? Why am I still here? Why am I still talking to you? Why am I still trading? I still like trading. I just don't like really trading for other people. And so I have found more entertainment and more satisfaction in selling trading tools to traders that are trying to find their way when it comes to the market. And so that's why I am where I am now, where I'm not trading huge accounts anymore of 100, 200,000, or even 600,000, or even $1 million like I probably could have, because I choose not to. I know some of you are probably gonna think that that's ridiculous. It's like, who would turn that down? You don't understand what it's like to trade a $200,000 account and the stress that's involved in doing that. And even though people say, "Oh, it's because well, you're not that good of a trader because you didn't get your emotions intact before trading that." You know how difficult it is to get your emotions intact when you're trading such huge accounts? It takes years of experience, and I only traded large accounts like that for 2 or 3 years. Maybe I'm not the most emotionally stable person when it comes to trying to take out those emotions in trading, because it's so difficult to do. Um, but that's I think that's something that I have admitted to and trying to improve on. But when it comes to trading massive accounts of $100, $200,000, I'm just not sure I'm that interested. I'd rather help other people and sell my trading tools that I feel like have long-term results, like the Ranger EA and the RMI Pro, which happens to be going through a drawdown right now. But who knows if it will pull out? I'm offering these trading tools because nothing is perfect, and I understand that. And I offer the best I can with all the knowledge that I've gotten over the last 15 years, and in the hopes that I can help other traders get new ideas or become profitable, or at least start turning over a new leaf to become a better trader. So that's where I am now, and that's what I want to continue to do. And I think I've covered most of the points in this video, and it's already pretty long. So hopefully you guys have found it entertaining. You know what kind of trader I am, and I've always been trying to keep this channel transparent. I hope that this has answered a lot of people's questions in regards to my trading history, how much profit and losses that I've done, and where I want to be and where I want to go as a trader in the future. I want to continue what I'm doing right now. My YouTube channel is growing; it's improving, even though I've gotten some weird comments in the last couple of months. But I hope to continue helping traders in this field, because there's a lot of help that's needed. A lot of traders are struggling, the majority of us, because we're getting constantly beaten down by improper trading tools and the banks pushing all the money against our money, and it causes for a really bad mix. And so hopefully I can continue to help and bring trading tools to people that bring them profit, but realize that I'm not a perfect person. That all my trading tools, I try to make them the best as possible, but sometimes the market will exploit the weak points in them, even though I try to minimize those as much as possible. All right. So thanks everybody for watching this really long video, and I hope that it brings you some closure. But if it doesn't, I'll continue to release new videos and work with the comments that have been posted in the videos, in my previous videos, and in future videos as well. I may delete some comments if they're inappropriate, but hopefully this video will explain to people when it comes to not trusting who I am and what I do. Thanks for watching. See you next time.